Assalamu alaikum boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, and people of all ages. Bringing it back to you guys with another Muslim Brothers 101 video. My name's Rabal, and there is no Ayman with me. And just because he's gone on holiday for a few days, don't worry, he's not going to jump out onto the sofa or anything. So let's get back to what we're talking about really, guys, here. We're talking about one of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's miracles. Now, this miracle may not be liked by so many people because it is indeed the mosquito. Now you guys must be wondering, why the mosquito? Why is the mosquito, which the small little insect that nobody likes, why is this a miracle of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? I'll let you guys know right now. It's due to the fact that basically, a little background on what happened was, these people came up to the Prophet ﷺ and they were like, yo, you talk about your God, right? He's written the Quran, and this God of all the universe and everything that's inside it and everything that's been created. You're talking about this God. But your God is talking about these little insects and stuff? Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this is pretty cool. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was like, yo, let me teach you guys a lesson. Surah Baqarah, ayah number 26, guys. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Allah is not ashamed to make an example of a mosquito or of an even smaller thing. As for those who believe, they know it's the truth from their Lord. But as for those who disbelieve, they say, what does Allah mean by this example? He misguides many by it and guides many by it. But He only misguides the deviators. So ayah number 26 right there, guys, is basically a reply to those guys who came up to the Prophet and asked, what kind of God is this who talks about mosquitoes and stuff like little insects? Why doesn't He talk about the big stuff, you know, the universe and everything that's in it? This was a reply to them, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in it, He is not ashamed to make an example of a mosquito or even a smaller thing on top of it, like a little tick or a little parasite that even feeds off the mosquito. He's not even ashamed to make an example of that. فَمَا فَوْقَهَا. Okay, He's not ashamed to even make an example of something that's on top of the mosquito. As for those who believe, they know it's the truth from their Lord. Everything that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, we believe in that, and we know that it's the truth. But as for those who disbelieve, they say, what does Allah mean by this example? They're like, yo, what is going on? What does He mean by this? Because back in that time, they didn't know what they meant, like what is on top of the mosquito. They didn't even know, they couldn't, because they didn't have microscopes. And due to this, many people are misguided by what this example that He's given. And many people are guided by it as well. But He only misguides the deviators. So as we were talking, when the people went up to the Prophet and were like, what kind of God is this? You know, who that talks about mosquito and something that is so small on top of it. What kind of God is this? That's how people are misguided by this. So now, guys, the thing about the mosquito is the way the systems that it has inside it, the way it's able to stop your blood from clotting. Did you know that its mouthpiece is so sharp, it's able to easily penetrate your skin. That's how sharp it is, but you don't feel the pain. That's the amazing thing about it. You don't feel the pain. So say if you were sleeping, which normally happens quite a bit, I guess in Pakistan, in hot countries really, where you're sleeping and when you wake up in the morning you've got quite a few mosquito bites, but you don't wake up at night because that's how sharp it is. It's so sharp. And that pressure equals force over area here, guys. The area of the mouthpiece is so small, so basically it doesn't have to put that much force, and so not a lot of pressure is created, and so not a lot of pain is felt. Now, due to not a lot of pain being felt, you don't wake up in the night, okay? And that helps the mosquito out. If you don't wake up, you're not able to, like swat it away or something, and that has it takes a nice meal. And it stops your blood from clotting as well. It's able to drink your blood without it clotting, and once it's full, then it's obviously it leaves. But these little systems that the mosquito is equipped with, it makes us witness. Okay, we can witness the miracles of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's creation, and that's why this mosquito is such a big miracle, because of the way it's able to feed off of us and the stuff it's equipped with. It makes us a witness of, let's say, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's unbounded power. Right, guys, so now what's going to happen is Quran and science are going to come hand in hand together. We've always heard about Quran and science because the Quran really does. It's amazing, and it does actually contain a lot of science. So the fact that the mosquito is actually mentioned in ayah number 26 here, I'm just going to show you something like now a scientific point of view of why, you know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this can be called one of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's miracles, because the life cycles that the mosquito goes through, like the birth stages, it is really amazing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up the slide. I'm going to put up the slides. You can have a read through, and then I'll then explain it to you guys. Right, guys, so as you've just seen in that slide there, basically what happens is the mosquito eggs are given underwater, right? Now, the thing about these eggs is they have air sacs, so the eggs stay afloat, and on top of that, there are structures that the eggs contain, which create surface tension. Due to the surface tension, basically the larva, right, and the eggs are able to stay afloat and stick to the surface, and also it helps keep the eggs in kind of like a bunch due to the surface tension. Now, on top of this, when eventually the eggs hatch and larvae come out, now the larvae also live most of their life underwater. What happens is, this is the surface of the water, right? Now there's a snorkel that comes at the top. The larva is hanging from the water and the snorkel comes out from the top. The snorkel contains some hydrophobic oil. Now, my AS biology boys out there will know what I'm talking about when I say hydrophobic. Chapter 4, guys. This hydrophobic oil, basically, the word phobic means to be scared of and to not like, and the word hydro means water, obviously. So this oil is kind of, think of it like it doesn't like water, so it repels the water away from the snorkel, so the water doesn't enter the snorkel and obviously kill and drown the larva. The hydrophobic oil basically keeps away the water, and it helps the larva to be able to breathe. Now, the thing is, our cell surface membranes also contain phospholipids, which work in the same way, but I'm not going to get into that because that'll get too long. Okay, guys, and on top of that, just one little thing I wanted to mention. Did you know that the wings and the legs of the mosquitoes become fully formed, like under the water while it's floating in the water? Just in that little cocoon it has, it forms underneath that. And if you think about it, because without the legs and the wings, the mosquito would not work properly, right? So these structures that form, they need to form perfectly, and just to see that these structures perform, like the way they form perfectly underwater in a cocoon, is really it's amazing, and how such a perfect creation can take place can only be done by one God. And in ayah number 26, guys, as I said, فَمَا فَوْقَهَا, the thing that is on top of the mosquito. Imagine, we just read about how the mosquito and the way it's born and everything, its life cycle is so complicated. And now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that فَمَا فَوْقَهَا, the parasite on top of the mosquito, its internal system is even more complex than the mosquito. So, subhanallah, we say to these kind of things, guys, when just even he gave an example of such a small thing, but because of how amazing and because of how complex the way its life cycle is, it definitely is a miracle of Quran. And I just want to say that the way that the perfectly created mosquito leaves the water, sets foot in the outside world, when you look at it and you look at the life stages it goes through, you can just tell it is Allah who knows every form of creation, and he's the only one that can create it in perfection. And that's it for the video, guys. I am new to the editing thing, so I tried a little bit of adding a slide here and there, and tell me how it works. I'll try and sharpen up my skills in that, because it was my first time. But yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed the video, liked it. Assalamu alaikum.